Good morning, everybody. It's Hammer. Today is Tuesday, November 26, 2024. I, of course, with Originator Success here, the Daily Mortgage Rate Update, the only place on the web where you can join me live each and every weekday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. No live on Friday. I'll pop that down there on the bottom there. So remember, you can join me live each and every weekday morning. Of course, not going to be here Thursday for Turkey Day or on Friday. There's not really going to be anything happen on Friday, and I'm not going to be going live. So just keep that in mind. Otherwise, I will be back, of course, on Monday, and I will be here tomorrow. If you are watching on the replay, don't forget to give me a hashtag replay in the comments. Let me know that you were here. Let Facebook and YouTube know that you were here. Don't forget to smash that like button. Consider tagging an LO friend, especially if you're in Facebook. Share this post in a group. Click the little share button and share it in one of those groups. Always appreciate that. And if you're on YouTube, make sure you go ahead and give it a thumbs up and a comment and subscribe. So anyway, let's say hi to the live folks. Who do we got here this morning? Which friends we got? Mallory Fotiades. Good morning, Ms. Mallory. Great to have you here. Ron Siegel. Good morning, sir. National Cake Day. Well, we can get behind that. What's your favorite kind of cake? All right, everybody. What is your favorite kind of cake? That is the question of the day. I'm going to go. The first thing came to my mind was chocolate cake, but I don't know. Is that like devil's food cake or angel cake? Angel food cake. I'd go with devil's food cake. I like a nice chocolate. So I'm going devil's food cake. What's your favorite kind of cake? Let me know in the comments. Good morning, Tim Klyla. Great to have you here. Mike Brown. Great to see you, sir. Who else we got? James Mahan and Yasmin Martin. Good morning. Amy Blauser, great to have you here. Rob Stewart, great to see you. Mike said, it ain't cool being a jive turkey so close to Thanksgiving. You a jive turkey. Good morning, Julie Lawrence. Deb Dickinson, great to have you here. Ron Siegel, Food Coma Friday. Yeah, for some, for sure. Bobby Searson, good morning. How are y'all cooking your turkey? That's going to be the question today tomorrow. Let's talk cake. What kind of cake you want? What's your favorite cake? I'm going devil's food cake. I want chocolate, lots of chocolate. Good morning, Angela Walters, Mike Morano, Colin Jordan. Coconut cake. Mallory Fotiades, coconut cake. That would be my wife's answer. She loves coconut cake. Carrot cake, too much like a vegetable. A lot of sugar in carrot cake to make it taste good because it's got carrots. Carrots are good, but not for cake. But I respect you, Julie. Love you anyway. Rob Stewart, Angel Food Cake, my nemesis. Bobby Searson and I, we're going to be eating cake together. Chocolate, devil's food cake, baby. King cake. I've never seen that, Mason. What is king cake? And welcome, by the way. What is king cake? Write down the ingredients. So, what is that? I've never heard that. Mike said a Twinkie. That is a cake. It is, I guess, technically, right? Good morning, Mr. Candido Diaz. I haven't seen you in a while. How are things up north? Chocolate cake with chocolate frosting. Yeah, that's right, Siegel. That's I'm telling you, man, devil's food cake. Brandy Brickler, good morning. Ron Siegel, carrot cake. Mallory Fotiades, my nanny's recipe, no other. What is for the coconut cake? You'll have to share that recipe. Maybe I'll try it. Yasmin, red velvet. Oh yeah, chocolate chips. You want to give it that little that little bit of boom. Mike Tebow, what's your favorite cake? That's what we're talking about. What's your favorite cake this morning? The important things, right? James Mahan, chocolate would probably be my favorite, but as long as it doesn't have veggies on it, I'm good. Yeah, carrot cake, right? Twinkie, Ron, Siegel, Turkey Wellington already on order. We're gonna talk about that one tomorrow. I'll ask you tomorrow on that. I think I might start circling back at the end to talk about what you guys say about things too, rather than doing it at the beginning because we get 4 minutes in and I get wrapped up. So I think my new format's going to be hitting that question of the day and then going back and looking at your answers. I think it'll be good. Good morning, Lisa. Hope you are well and I think you mean carrot cake. You wrote Charlotte cake, but I think it was supposed to be carrot cake. So, all right. Anyway, let's get to the good stuff, y'all. Remember, there's no live on Friday, so keep that in mind. Let me go ahead and plop down the thing here. We're going to go here, go to there. Come on, go to here. And we're going to share the screen. Boom. All right. So as of this morning, we're still cautiously floating. Mortgage-backed securities currently down about 8 basis points on the day. Take a look here, though. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see it real good. Taking a look here, yesterday we came out with pricing right here. We were right around like 100.90ish, and that's right where we're at right now, 100.92. So we are almost exactly the same spot as where we were yesterday when pricing came out, which is why rate sheets today going to be about the same as yesterday. You're not going to see much of a difference at all. But yesterday afternoon bonds did continue to improve on the day. Nothing amazing. No, not really a lot of reprices better. There were a handful, but not really that many, but mainly it was just kind of an improvement. And then this morning we gave those gains back. Why did that happen? Simple. Let me go ahead and put this side by side. Man, this really zooms in. Ooh, there we go. This really zooms in when I do that. But let me see. I might get Better Snap again so I could just snap this to the size that I want. I got the new computer and I didn't put a program called Better Snap on it, and that's why things are sized differently like this. So anyway, as I come in here, let me make this a little bit smaller so we can actually see it. Mortgage bonds, like I said, we're currently down about 6 basis points. Now, here's the deal. We're cautiously floating to start the day. The reason we're seeing a little bit of losses, yesterday's gains were because Trump picked hedge fund manager Scott Bessent as his Treasury Secretary. Of course, that has to go through all the approval process and everything, but no one anticipates that to be an issue. The idea here was that Bessent had a Wall Street mentality, was going to temper some of the idea of tariffs, and that when he talks about tariffs, that really that he, that they would be a leveraging tool rather than just snapping them in. However, yesterday Trump did put he put his tweet out there, and I guess we'll call it a tweet. It was on Truth Social on the network that he was on. I don't think that he put it on X, which is the old Twitter still, for those of you that don't catch that on there. But basically, he roiled the markets up a little bit with some threats of tariffs. Just took a couple of social media posts for Donald Trump to rattle markets across the world. He vowed to slap an additional 10% tariff on goods from China, 25% from all products from Mexico and Canada, all part of his mission to clamp down on migrants and illegal drugs flowing into the U.S. The biggest uncertainty centers on whether China will reply as a playbook that they used during Trump's first trade war. I love how they call it a trade war. Got to make some big things out of it. Love it, hate it, disagree with it, whatever, for the Trump's administration and Trump's personal view on this stuff. Calling it a trade war is so much drama. Market reaction was swift. The dollar rallied as Canada's currency hit a 4-year low. The Mexican peso, Chinese offshore yuan dropped. European and Asian markets also fell. Traders around the world are now bracing for ever more volatility. And yet mortgage-backed securities are down 7 basis points. Ooh. 10-year Treasury yield, 4.30, right? So yesterday we ended the day 4.29, and they're up to 4.30. Huge volatility and uncertainty as Trump tweets out there these amazing plans. You really have to love. Bloomberg has become so left-leaning on stuff. It's so annoying. Wall Street Journal a little less so. They kind of have some goofy articles. Yesterday they were piling it up on Elon, talking about how how his factory had, some issues with dealing with waste and blah, 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 and other stuff. But really these ones are the ones there. Good morning, Brian Phillips, Ben Vogler, Ron Siegel. Size matters. Yeah. Amy Blaser, good morning. Anyway, looking at what we got going on here, here's the reality. Anything closing in the next couple of weeks, right? We're cautiously floating to start the day. We'll see if we get a bit of recovery. It's more likely that we could see this continue to sell off. If we do, I would take it, lock it, and run with it. The reality being, yesterday we should have seen rates improve close to 1/8 of a point. There was quite a bit of movement over the weekend. It was a nice bump. I mean, that brings us back to where we're couple weeks ago for a low point, but this is probably the low. You're probably not going to see them get much better from here. We could get a little bit better tomorrow with the PCE data. So this afternoon, we're going to get the Fed's FOMC meeting minutes. Don't expect anything to come of that. The decision last time around, when the Fed cut rates, this article is wrong. You got to love this stuff. Like, hello, does an editor ever read this stuff? Minutes from the Federal Reserve's November meeting may detail whether officials saw a greater risk of further softening in the U.S. labor market or stalling progress on lowering inflation. It could shed light on how likely a rate cut pause may be at an upcoming Fed meeting. It's going to do nothing of the sort. They are not going to have anything of that in the minutes. The minutes from the Open Market Committee November 6th and 7th meeting will be published at 2 p.m. today. The FOMC Policymaking Committee voted unanimously, and this is the part that I really matter, to lower the Fed funds rate by a half point. They didn't lower it by a half point. They lowered it by a quarter point. Get your shit together. And at the meeting following a half point cut in September, they did a half point in September. They did a quarter point in November. So this is wrong. However, they did vote unanimously, and that is correct. So that's the point. I mean, how much are we going to see in the meeting minutes when everything was unanimous? You'll see some conversation. Even Neil Kashkari, he's the Minneapolis Fed president, very hawkish. Yesterday, he said that there was arguments that could be made about why they need to continue to go ahead and cut one more time. So with that in mind, we're really not expecting to see that. We haven't seen Fed futures change at all. Still an expectation, about 60% probability that we're going to see a cut in the December meeting and then a pause after that. That's basically what everyone's pricing in, right? So we'll see there, and then a pause here. And there's quite a bit, 35% that believe that the Fed may pause in December and into January. So a lot less believe that we would see a continued cut in January. So we're really looking at one cut and done. Remember, the Fed is looking for what they call the Fed neutral rate. And that neutral rate is basically where it's not stimulating the economy, but it's also not choking the economy. So that number has risen quite a bit. It was expected to be down around 3% at the end of 2025. Now that's more likely to be up around 3.75%, possibly 3.5%. In 2025. So Ron said, Neil said inflation was transitory. How accurate is he? You know what, though? I'm not going to give them as much grief, Ron, about the transitory comment back in the day as everyone else. Inflation should have been transitory. Part of the reason that it wasn't was because China stayed locked down for like a year. I mean, they were just so difficult in producing, and we had so much coming from there. You could argue that we should have seen that coming, but the expectation was that we'd see a flood of money into the economy and the price of goods would go up, but then they would come back down. The other thing that has happened is, let's face it, people got used to spending money and they kept spending. By the way, I got Wells Fargo yesterday to up my credit limit on my personal credit card to $40,000. That's the highest I've ever had on a credit limit. It did require a tier 2 approval. They actually pulled my credit. They looked at how I use my credit and all those things. It wasn't just an automated thing. Why did I want a $40,000 limit? Because I am buying a mini barn for my new office. I've decided to downscale my plans. I wanted this wicked cool, huge office complexy thing up on my other property. And I was getting quotes like $300,000. And guys, I don't want to spend that kind of money. It's not going to improve the value of my house. Just piss money away. Originator success. We're still plugging away strong, but we're feeling the pinch just like y'all are. So it wasn't there in the cards. However, Costco makes a really cool little mini barn, 16 by 32, 2 floors, loft top for $25,000. They have that. It's through this third-party company. If you ever heard of Costco Next, where they work deals out. So I'm going to be looking to get that wrapped up. Hopefully I'll have that up there by the middle of next year. And I'll be working from an office up there and rather than from my office here in the house. So just a little different. So anyway, I was getting ready to buy that. And so if I bought it, popped it on a credit card, $26,000, not bad, $25,000. So that's why. So anyway, my point being credit. They're still giving credit. People living on credit. That's what's driving all this stuff up there. So this morning, bottom line, we'll be watching this stuff here. I don't know that we'll see a big sell-off, but if it starts to sell, consider locking anything closing near term. I wouldn't look for tomorrow's PCE inflation data to save us. It's probably going to come in just about as expected, which is what the CPI data did last time. We did see a very positive reaction to the CPI data coming in at where it was expected, though. May see a little bit of a positive reaction with the PCE, not so much. It's kind of like the CPI already lets the cat out of the bag. So keep that in mind. All right, my friends, question of the day. Let's hit your answers one more time. The question of the day is come on, there it is what kind of cake? What's your favorite kind of cake? Ron, I'm doing a segment on my show today to discuss why tariffs affect the adversary, not the U.S. or the U.S. consumer. Very cool, Ron. If you've got something where people can listen, feel free to plug it, and they can listen to that as well. For sure. Glenn Cupid, good morning, sir. Mark Clark, great to have you here. Mike Tebow, I thought they closed up 43 yesterday. It depends on what you look at, which ones, and don't get too wrapped up, Mike. Mike's talking about mortgage-backed securities and where they closed yesterday. If we take a look here, you could see, let's see. This is the 6.0 coupon. The day, on Friday, we were 100.62, so 100.97. So arguably, that's 35 basis points that it closed at the end of the day. And you could see there was a bit of a drop off right around like 4 o'clock here. That's when I sent my text, and then that they were at 101.03, and they went down to what did it close at? 100.97. So down about 6 basis points there. If you want to look at the 5.5, that's the one that Matt Graham has got starred. That's the one they're actually following. I'm following the 6 right now, though. And again, it doesn't really make that big of a differential. You take a look here, it was 99.02 and then 99.52. So 50 basis points on that 5.5. When you saw that difference, but we could major in the minors on what exactly that math was, but it's not going to make a big difference. The main thing you want to be looking at is the direction that they're going and how much they're moving in that direction. So, Robert, pineapple upside down cake, nice. I like pineapples. Red velvet cheesecake, Monica Dinkins. Yasmin liked red velvet with chocolate chips, but not cheesecake. Ben Vogler, German chocolate. So yeah, I could go with German chocolate. I was saying Devil's Food, which is very similar. Nice dark chocolatey cake. So, all right, y'all. Well, join me tomorrow. We're going to look at the PCE data. Remember, there will be no live on Friday. I've got that down on the bottom of the screen. I'm really loving all this new tech setup with the phone. Fact that I need to I don't shave, so I don't care. I got that rough cowboy look, but I have to stop looking up because then you see up my nostrils. I'm going to have to pop this thing like that. I'm going to have to get a little bit of a different angle. Now it's going to look at my chest. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, all right. Well, I have this snake standy thing now for it to be on. See here, hold on. I don't know if I showed you guys last time. Yeah, I did. I remember I did. Yeah, so I've got this thing holding the phone so I don't make you all nauseous. But it does swing a little. I have to mess with it a little bit. All right, my friends. Kenny, my mom used to make a mean pineapple upside down cake. Great memories. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Hopefully I'll see y'all tomorrow. Anybody that I don't see tomorrow, have a happy Thanksgiving. But join me tomorrow and we'll chat about the PCE and we'll wrap up for the week. All right, my friends. Catch you then. Bye.